Hello and welcome to another gameplay review on the Virkayu gameplay channel. And in this one we have TEEMO Jungle, AP, on hit, PTA, and finally, and demonically, obviously. This is not something I expected to really make this week, but I was thinking, what is going to be something that's relevant going forward into Season 13? And everything I say in this video, I will relate to Season 13 with regard to the changes. I spent all day looking at the numbers and testing things out. I'm going to make a whole video for the main channel, telling you everything you need to know about all the swish details. But in this one, off-meta junglers are going to have a better time in Season 13 because it's going to be healthier to clear. It's going to be more forgiving in terms of kite ranges because of this. And we'll talk about it all as we go through this TEEMO Jungle gameplay. Master Plus, solo queue against the Belveth. How can we thrive? How can we dominate? How can we, well, basically infuriate me and you and anyone who now will have to face this monster after we're done. So stunning E here for the Giga passive poison damage. We have the Zed doing his stuff in the mid lane against Zoe. We've got a Cow, Varus versus a Nautilus and Sivir. And then we have here an very beautiful Urgot against very beautiful Yorick. So clears, what are we looking at as our mid laner dies? Obviously, of course they do. Whenever you play off-meta jungler, they die solo, then they blame you. Tragic, isn't it? You would have seen the full runes on your screen now. We are going to go for the red, blue, into obviously the Grumpy. The reason he sits still there is because when you go camouflage with your passive and you come out of said passive, you get a bonus boost of attack speed, which is going to be necessary in order to clear the jungle. You are not going to be AFK farming, although in Season 13 I do foresee maybe a bit more of the camps that you wouldn't normally do getting assimilated into your clear. For example, if you're off meta and stuck on doing a 3-camper, maybe you could throw in a 4th camp. That is something that will be interesting and will be really dependent on your champion. Now, most importantly, we are playing here a TEEMO, right? We are doing here a 3-camper into some sort of action because we have a cow bot lane that can engage and we have a lot of burn damage and we have a movement speed gap close, well, escape gap close button, but they go all in here. I'll get to my point in a second. All the flashes are being burned. TEEMO's like, yo, what up? We can just easily blind that person, keep auto attacking, keep auto attacking, keep auto attacking. Use your ranged advantage here. You do have your movement speed and your W that you can activate to gap close and kind of stay as close as possible. We just want to keep going to get some poison damage. We get a blind, we flash the hook, and he dies. That was clean. That was like, if you've got Graves as Giga OP and then you've got Kindred Giga OP just in a different way. TEEMO, budget Graves and Kindred, TEEMO and AP, which is nice. That was pretty quick on the crab. Remember, no shield on the crab. There is actually a shift in the crab XP. More crab XP. Now, back to my original point. We're against a Belveth. We're going to be against the Graves, okay? Let's actually look at how we're clearing the jungle here. Let me get you back in the wolf camp. Sorry, I don't mean to keep clicking away, but that should be your habitual thing whenever you're looking at a replay, is to look around the map. Now, we do have the Belveth against us, Graves against us, Nidalee against us. What will they want to do it as an off-meta against an off-meta jungler who's farming or who wants to gank? They're going to want to invade you. Now, the damage that you do to camps in the enemy jungle is reduced. It's not huge. We're talking like 7.5% or whatever it is, but it's meaningful in that it will slow you down by about 9 seconds per quadrant if you're doing like a red side quadrant or 3-camp clear and things like that. It really does add up. Floris has done the calculations in terms of the timing, and obviously this will shift based upon itemization and jungle item changes, but good to know that when we're playing an off-meta jungler, we're not only going to be healthier, so we can go and do more things like gank lanes, like bottom lane, and secure 330 crabs. That's when it will spawn. That's great. But we're also not going to be as susceptible to Giga invading, killing junglers, because it's going to take them too long to take our camps, on repeat. They're going to lose seconds over time. Remember, like, if you're losing 5, 6, 7, 8 AD, 11 AD, while you're clearing a jungle monster, that will add up over the course of your counter jungling expedition. So that's nice for off-meta junglers, I feel. We're going to enjoy not being Graves, or Nidalee, or Kindred, whatever it is. And we can just go about our business and play the game. So here, out of base with 24 CS, 101. The Belveth does have a kill of her own. We're not focusing on her at all. We have the flash engage on the York. The ghouls are doing some fistings. He is blinded, but we are, well, literally gatekeeped by the gates of the keeper. We have the Zed here roaming up. We're going to get slowed by the Yorick. He's going to flash for the wall. Hello, Zed. Do we get an assisto? We do. That's beautiful. We have the Zoe in the bottom lane here now. We can also go ahead and do some counter jungling, but remember, you've got to track. While we're looking at all of this, I want you guys to focus on the minimap, focus on when the Belveth shows up, try and do your tracking exercises, or as always, we recommend doing that in this video. Here we go. We see your bottom side here, 36 CS. This champion. This champion. Disgusting. I mean, you know, Hecarim mains are probably boosted like 500 LP. I'm honestly gonna think that the Bel'Veth mains are equally boosted by 500 LP. It's obscene. So we go into their jungle. Level 5 Raptor camp, sorry, Wolf camp. This one right here, left click, and remember, level 5, so we know that this is the second time that those camps have spawned and that you started on the red side, went upside, and took those camps. So even if you weren't paying attention, just by clicking on the level, you can tell. I hope. You should be able to. If you're a smart person, you can. Now, we are going to wait here for this RNG crab. We do have here a smite for the shield. Again, not going to be an issue. I love this. I love this. I love this. I love this. When you can counter jungle like that, opportunistically through tracking, knowing she's going to be bottom side looking for that action, a crab spawns, you sneak it away very, very quickly with smite. You push it up the river away from where she's coming because you've got a good ward here, right here. Really, really nicely done. So, again, you all know I play. Obviously, the meta jungler is going to be like, yo, can I steal your Krugs? And you're like, no, I have smite, I'm going to outsmite you. Urgot's going to do some beautiful, I love those skins. Why couldn't Ornn have that skin, man? Said I look like a bloody pool noodle. Gummy bear, Haribo pack. I mean, it's obscene. I could have had this. Oh, I'm outraged. Maybe there's hope for Mundo. Anyway, ooh, a Zyra one of the Gothic line would look really nice. Anyway, so I play Zyra, I play Ornn, I play Mundo. And I'm always playing off meta junglers. I prefer that I have to think so uniquely, right, to navigate the meta, move around the map, and how I'm going to optimize my champion strengths and circumvent any weaknesses. It's really fun for me. It's a challenge. It's fun, and I've enjoyed, you know, getting to mess with different kinds of off-meta junglers over the years or specific playstyles. Now, the thing is apologies as I hit the mic there. We are so used to being invaded like this that play that the Bel'Veth just made isn't going to necessarily be worth it because the damage he does to the monsters is not going to be as much as the damage we're doing, and most importantly, smiting the monster doesn't give you the HP back, killing it does. So she can walk in and try and smite it, but if she doesn't kill it and you do, you get the HP, you get the gold. So that smite will do literally nothing, and obviously we don't have to stack now the smites. You know, there's no 5 smacks, like right now we have 5. It's hard to speak sometimes, I'm trying to get all the information out at once. 5 stacks of smite that we have to loop around before we can use it on champions. For the new smite charges, there's 40 treats or 40 stacks. As you kill large monsters, that will tick down. When it goes from 40 to 20, you go from 600 damage to 900 damage. When it goes from 20 to 0, you go from 900 damage to 1200. But you can't smite champions when you get to 20 stacks. So once you get that 900 damage, you can now do basically what the blue smite does to champions. There's no more red smite, it doesn't exist. The items, blue, red, and green, do different things. The blue one is going to let you have a movement speed boost as you go into bushes while you're in the jungle, so great for, I don't know. Rengos could use it, but, you know, I think that's going to be the dud of the Lissa, because the red one gives you that true damage max burn over time. It stacks up much like a chem tank does, and the green one gives you tenacity and slow resist when that shield is triggered, and that's a shield that you get by killing monsters, right? So it's great for tanks, great for Hecarims, and things like that. Teemo, most likely you're going with the red smite because... the red jungle item, excuse me, because not only can you slow people once you get that 20 stack threshold, you're also going to get the burn damage activated on that fully upgraded jungle item. We see them on the herald here as we move on up. Nice, again, control of the bottom scuttle. Now imagine Teemo here has that blue smite, which he still has, but he's also upgraded it at 40 stacks and does burn damage over time. That's quite potent and quite strong here. We're repositioning, we're going to go on the Bel'Veth there, get that blind, which is really, really nice. She's still going to be able to kill the Zed. She flashes over the wall without triggering her thing because she's going to go pop like a weasel. She should have just tried to get it for the healing. Maybe she could survive instead of flashing and dying. That's dumb, but Bel'Veth means what can you do? And then you just chase down an auto attack and burn down the Nautilus. So, blind, easy. Shrooms post 6, juicy, because now you can start to litter the side lanes. You can start to litter their jungle. You can start to stack and litter dragon pits. This is significantly more potent, I will be honest with you, than if you had to ask me, Virkayu, what do you think about TEEMO Jungle? I would have laughed at you, made memes about our friend Baker from the Discord who plays TEEMO and Morgana and other such obnoxious things. He's known for Pantheon, but sometimes Pantheon's so weak, he just has to do things like this. I would have said no, not at all, but the red, blue, romp, into their bottom lane gang was beautifully done. They're not going to expect it. We fell back to camps really nicely. And the chase down burn potential is beautiful in these ganks. It's like a cheap AP version of Kindred and Graves. It's definitely not going to be some kind of meta pick, don't get me wrong. But I can honestly tell you right now, this kind of stuff is the issue. Now, it's not too much of a problem, but you can see here, like, this camp should be rinsed, 10 minutes at 303, this should be finished. Like, that shouldn't be something you have to worry about. And because you can't kite the camp out that far in Season 13, because obviously the leash range is significantly shortened. Nice gank. Thank you, Cow. It's nice when laners just use the lead you give them. You're not going to be able to kite it out as much. You're going to take more damage, but obviously the jungle monsters have more HP to compensate for the added smite damage. We obviously will have, once we fully upgraded the smite, AoE. So those of you who are old school, like me, and no old jokes, but you remember the pink smite that we had, the pink purple smite, the purple smite, Season 5-6, you would essentially upgrade that so you could farm faster. It would basically be a smite charge on the large monster, but it would affect the whole camp AoE style. So here we go, back to the top lane. There we go, yes, yes, trap me, sir. Watch how I don't care. Yes. Man, York does so much damage. Like, it's a little close because we're kind of trapped in there with the ghouls and the maiden, and then we make him maidenless, and we're like, are we still gonna die? And we don't. So nicely done there by the team. It's a simple kit. You're auto-attacking and using your camouflage and your passive appropriately when you're trying to bush trap. You're throwing out your shrooms in fights and around the map, and obviously you're using your blind and that E right here to do poison damage over time. I mean, it's not very difficult in that sense. And use your W appropriately, right? Because obviously you're going to get that movement speed proc anyway, but activate it intelligently, whether it's escaping or chasing down. And then the blue smite also helps a lot. This kiting, for example, isn't going to be doable. But back to our original point. Once we've upgraded our smite, at this point we probably would have done so, that raptor camp, smite AoE. You smite the big one, and it hits all the babies as well. So you're going to really be able to do those things a lot quicker. Now, Belveth is like, I see a red is available, so we're going to sit in the bush here. We're going to trap it with a shroom. She's going to walk over it. She's going to explode, scene, poison. She's going to miss that. We're going to miss. See, that's the thing about TEEMO. That's the thing about TEEMO. The W active allows your positioning around skill shots to be potent and frustrating for anyone with skill shots to take a little bit of a landing time. For example, even a Zyre, if I try to max range E on a TEEMO, he can use that W to reposition just with that movement speed burst. Now, using your shrooms obviously will help do the camps. There you go. But now imagine we do that and we AoE smite, it's gone. It's gone. It's gone. You're already on your way back to base. So the fully upgraded smite for champions who are off meta, who struggle to kind of doing these camps, gonna be really, really good. But this is so smooth and effortless. So, thank you. Thought for a second, do we have an I mean, this would be great if it's an AFK and we actually win. This is better for me. It's worse when there's an AFK on the enemy team. So, overall, this is quite effective here. We went for the early Berserkers. We went for the early Magi because we're stacking it up. And now we're going for the Nash's Tooth Rush. Obviously, we walked over control, so let's clear that off here. Make sure we kite and blind. There we go. A little bit of movement speed for added kite ability. Again, a lot of the W usage here in terms of creating space to kite the camps out isn't going to be as necessary, but because you're going to take less damage, you're going to heal more every time you kill a monster. Every time you kill a monster, it's not really an issue. We do have a shroom if we need to use one. She's going to reposition with her Q, hit that W. We'll just steal this camp away from her. Very nice and tasty. Chuck a shroom in that bush. She's going to... Ooh. Okay, I guess she just floated around it, or it hadn't quite fully loaded or something. Anyway, the Zoe's roaming. She's collapsing. We're ignited. The cow, create space, peel. Thank you. Reposition, smite and snack that. Beautiful there. Scuttle crab. What was it called? Scuttle crab. Obviously, how could I forget that? I'm a jungler. I eat those every day. Nice double knockup. Can we stun? Can we knock back? Yes, we can. Into our double ADC comp effectively. Nice root there on the enemy ADC. TEEMO's just chasing him down from the backline. That's a triple kill. The damage, the disruption, the blinds, the movement speed. It's not mechanically. I'm trying to sell it a bit more than I should maybe, but the most important part is about these off-meta junglers. Can you clear to something acceptable early? Can you then counter jungle to an acceptable level should the enemy jungler show up on the bottom side? Do we have gank ability either through damage, CC, or just general approach to lanes? Yes to all, actually. Do we have scaling? Of course we have scaling. We know that as TEEMO, how fed you can get. You see how quickly you can do these camps. Like the Belveth's just running away from us at this point. Because she knows as soon as she goes in, he's going to blind her, movement speed to avoid any sort of W and E, and she's kind of... I think she's frustrated. That didn't go well for me, did it? Well, there are downsides to these champions in the jungle. That's one of them. Anyway, that's just a sort of oh no anyway Jeremy Clarkson mood. Our bottom lane and mid lane are kind of using the pressure we exerted by forcing their rotation, so we're shoving up the mid lane here. So we do have a decent lead. By that I mean it's not even too grand. Mid lane tower is down. Top lane have rotated a little bit to the top lane here while she was pushing mid out. We lose our Krugs. Remember Krugs, there will be a large Krug that splits into babies and the medium Krug that splits into babies. 6 babies. 13 gold apiece. So there is less Krug value, but it's quicker to take now. So you can actually spend that time. I mean, that's a lot of damage here, but obviously the Urgot actually dies, so we'll take the kill. 3 stacks for the Mejais. Hello, Yorick. Can we join you? We have a charge here for the Shroom. We have a ward. We can just keep doing that. Just stay behind your cow at this point. Play it like an AD carry. Just stay behind your meat shield. Oh, we could graveyard it again. That's unfortunate. Always stay behind the big, thick boy that's trying to peel you and keep your range gap there nice and juicy. So we are going from the Nashes, it looks like, into a death cap. That's going to be interesting. Because in Season 13, what they want is to give us a lot more legendary options that we don't necessarily feel like we have to rush perma the mythic itemization. But you are seeing a lot of champions and play styles now, even the end of Season 12, exploring this concept of, hey, do I really need to rush my mythic, or are there better things better suited to my kit? And then you get that mythic, say, 3rd, and you just boost yourself mid-game because you activate the mythic passive on 2 items that are already completed. That is a form of logic we have used on certain champions. We looked at it with the Diana video, where she went Nash's Demonics and then Rocket Belt. We're looking at here with the TEEMO, where we go Nash's into the Death Cap, and then we can finish off with our Rift Maker. These kinds of things always come together quite nicely. Hello, sir. Can we give him some blindings? We're actually going to blue smite him just to keep going. We're saving that blind there, but I don't know if we should have. The Shroom fields are not really as potent as your mid lane or top lane will be because you're not really in one place. You're consistently moving. So the Shrooms you use to clear, you stack them up, you can put them in neutral positions, but waiting for our attack speed passive here. There we go. This kind of you can still kind of do, by the way. That's not dead. You can definitely still do it. You can definitely still do it. It's just less forgiving, and the camp walks back to base significantly faster. That was a nice explosion. Belveth, hello. Can I greet you with one more death? Blinded, die. Zoe, die. Yes. 13-1-5, 25 stacks. This is why a buff Grump, or a red Raptors Grump, into bottom lane is still the best game plan. It will still be the best game plan in Season 13. That's not going to change. The 330 crab, though, that's going to change certain junglers. If you are 5 camping now, and there is no real gankable lane, you can, without stress, do that 6th camp. You will be healthier. It will be faster for a lot of junglers to do so. So, for example, a good champion would be, say, Volibear. He's not in the best spot right now, but if I was doing a 5 camper looking to get action before, say, an enemy Karthus or Hecarim, as we rotate to the mid lane here, bouncy. And there's just nothing bottom lane. Like, say I started here, went down. I was like, normally I would go here because of that 315 scuttle, right? But hey, that scuttle's not 330. I'll just do the Krugs. And the Krugs are quicker. Then I can gank. I'll be level 4. You're still level 4 after full clear. Then I can go get the scuttle at 330. And as I said, it's going to be more valuable experience-wise, not gold-wise, though. Less gold. More experience, less gold. That's because the jungle monster, the jungle item, the pets, excuse me, monsters, pets, jungle pets, jungle Pokemons will... Tamagotchis, if you will give you periodically an infusion of 50 cash monies. So randomly, over 30 seconds a minute, there'll be a stack, and you eat a monster by clearing it, and you get 50 gold bonus. Yep. Interesting thoughts about that, actually, but I need time to explain my thoughts about that entire infrastructure. Main channel video, hopefully tomorrow, but latest Thursday. So overall here, this is quite smooth sailing, as long as you can snowball. I mean, there's a couple of games in his match history. As always, I'll link the match history in the link in the description below. Good wins, fast wins, snowballing wins. And because you get around the map so damn quickly, 487, right, with that W passive going off. Hello, Sivir. Can we get a blind through here? Cooldown is up. Ooh. She flashes the wall. Cow follows. The cow's just playing around the TEEMO beautifully, though. This is... Like, this support has recognized that the 1v9 carry on this team is the TEEMO Jungle. The Belveth doesn't know what hit her whatsoever because she was blinded. And obviously, I don't know, it's probably making a sandwich while she just presses E or something like that. Hey, this is not so bad. I mean, 20 out of 26 KP with 2 dragons. Obviously, second dragon we weren't really involved in, but that's a really fast 20-minute Baron. You're seeing the playstyle. Whoopsie. You're seeing the... You're seeing the playstyle necessary for certain off-meta junglers, and my junglers can't do this. Mundo can, but not the Ornazar. I need my team a bit more from the dragons, and I'm not able to sort of, hey guys, I can easily do this 20-minute Baron by myself, I just need one person. You know, so that there are downsides, but TEEMO doesn't have such issues because he's TEEMO. This rat scales. This rat scales nicely. Here we go. Do we have enough gold? We do! Bottom lane pushing, but maybe we can trap someone. We're close to 16 here. Again, you're not seeing the shroom fields. A little couple shrooms there, which is nice. This is the best thing about this champion in the jungle, though. As soon as you're leaving to fall back into, you know, like their jungle retreating from a good push, you can just shroom it up. So even if you go back to base and leave your team, where normally you'd be like, oh, should I stay to hover my team? Sorry, Night Harvester. What did I say, Riftmaker? I meant Night Harvester. I knew that. I knew that. And your shrooms will do the work. Vision, poison, slows. Team can play off of that nicely. And of course, because we're so fast, we're at 478 movement speed out of base. You're watching the little rat go mid lane. Is the rest of our team? Despite everything I just said, at least they get one back. Still ends up dying. And now we're like, hey, let's split push. Remember, we get bonus on hit AP damage on our auto attacks as part of the luxury of being TEEMO. Do we block or let him die? I like that it was let him die, and that's because he's playing Zed. This is self-sufficient. This is carryable. Like, carryable, you know what I mean? But push, towers, blinds, slows, speed-ups, poison. What are they going to do to you? 25 stacks, 3 items, that's it. That's the goal. Every game, you want to get Night Harvester, Death Cap, Nash's stack mesh as with Berserker's Greaves, and hopefully the game should be over. This was... Obviously the cow played very well, so in the comments you can tell me, yeah, Alistair played well. Yes, of course. But in this age of Yuumi support, in this age of, hey, my ADC's an idiot, let me just jump onto another player, supports are kind of understanding that, look, if the lane just isn't going so well, or the ADC is doing well, like in this case, the Varus is doing a good job, I don't need to handhold him, I can play around the jungle, move around the map, and just allow them to carry. And that does happen. So let me know what you think of TEEMO Jungle. I thought this was a fun little pick for the end of the season. It's still going to be good next season. Again, I hit on all the season changes, 13 changes I thought I could. For this particular video, I'm going to do maybe, we'll have a few more off-meta picks for the week, just to talk about their viability next season and how fun they can be in the jungle in general. And thank you very much for watching. Please do like, share, and comment if you did enjoy and learn something. Zara GG Guides is linked in the description below. And as always, I will see you all in the next tutorial.